We're in. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Handren Seavey.
I'm Kim McVicar, and we have a new co-host with us today.
For those watching on YouTube, this is Montgomery.
Ooh, that's a nice name.
Monty for
Like the
short.
Burns, like Simpsons?
Uh yeah. No, I mean I don't know where I came up with it, but I just always wanted a dog named Monty.
Nice.
I found out, and so I just said, we started with Monty and we said it can be short for Montgomery. That's what I call him when he's bad. It's a fun
You,
name to be like,
you do that to
Montgomery.
dogs too?
Yeah.
You're like, I get Kimberly when I'm in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize pets got the same thing, the longer version of your name.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's more satisfying.
Yeah, Handren's killing it. He was like, the world is opening up again. I will have a baby and a dog.
And a puppy.
So much.
And because of the baby, I got to take the puppy to every show. So if you're coming to see me live anytime coming up, I will have Monty with me.
Well, the good news is most places are letting dogs now.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they're opening. Everything's opening up. They're letting everything. And you bring your snake.
The improv. There's so many dogs at the improv.
Yeah. Yeah. I was there with the dog on Tuesday, and a dog with this one. And
No, it was a whole different dog. I was just testing out.
there was like 6 other dogs. I was like, I just gotta carry him around and keep him away from all this fucking filth.
Do any of them laugh at anybody's jokes or bark?
I've heard some barking, but completely unrelated to the jokes.
Ah, fair, fair.
Yeah.
Didn't know. So this episode is about the election, not the
And
election, the school election. It's about the actual election. That would be so cool.
so I think this is what happened with this episode. They said, they back engineered it.
Mhm.
They said, we want to have Andy come out as having mental problems,
Yeah. How do we show she's
mental
crazy?
illness.
Mhm.
What storyline can we use to have that come out in an almost like accidental or like not her fault type of way? And then they came up with this whole election thing, and they brought Abby back to just be really fucking shitty to her and like trigger this stuff and have a thing that whole debate thing in the gym, I don't think that would have ever gone on there.
No,
All
not
right,
even in this
we'll get
time
to it.
frame. Not. Let's start from the beginning. So it starts
The
with
time frame part, an entire election happens in one episode, ostensibly one day.
your favorite. And geography wise, they stay in the same place. So it starts with Dawson and Jen reading his script.
Yeah, which
And
is
he's
so
like,
they're best buds now.
yeah, he saved her, and now she's like, oh, let me read your script. And she doesn't like it, which is great. And basically tells him that he's not acting his age, which is true.
So, and this storyline that they set up, I did like a little bit how and which way they show that even trying to be like mature and shit like Dawson thinks he is, um emotionally he's not there. And so even though he tries to act that way, like they say that later on, like, like he tries to act mature, but emotionally he's still 15-year-old. And that's exactly it, because he acts like a bitch about a lot of things, and it's because he is a fucking 15-year-old and he's a little whiny brat.
Yep. And so he's devastated that his first draft of a script isn't amazing. Can we just say anyone who's writing something, usually the first one isn't that great?
I don't know if you know the Schindler's List, first draft only. He fucking nailed that one first. No, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Which is, I'm joking. Of course it wasn't. You think?
I legit think he wrote it in one sitting. In fairness, he had a storyline that he could follow. So it was like not that like difficult to write. All he had to do was interject a kind person.
Yeah, add a couple dialogues, which may or may not have happened.
Yeah, I think it was cheating.
No, but yeah, it is crazy that Dawson would even like knowing as much about movies as he does, that he would want somebody to read his first script, because like if you read any books about script writing or anything, it's always like write a first draft, then throw it out and then do it again. Like it's all about editing and shit like that. So the fact that he would be like, they're done, it's made, like,
just like stand up.
I don't know how he won that fucking award if he's this new to.
In fairness, I will say a lot of people who just shoot stuff, the editing is the rebranding of it all. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So that was where he like writes it that way. But to read it, no, it's not. Of course, it's not going to be good. Um, yeah. So then that whole thing happens, and then Andy asks in a roundabout way if she can, if who am I thinking of? Joey wants to do the election with her. Not
Oh
do.
yeah. All of a sudden, there's this election for fucking student council, which they make it unclear. Was it president, vice president?
It's
Are the
sophomore
seats?
year. They say sophomore.
So they're back in sophomore year. We thought they had gone through to junior year. They have not.
No, she says sophomore something.
Yeah.
And she also says, what is that I had a dream about you last night, which to me is like a really such a way to like, oh, let's pinhole this story together. Okay. Yeah, she had a dream about her, and that's why she's thinking about her.
Oh, Andy said that to Joey.
Yeah, it was dumb. I
Oh,
mean, just
weird.
as like a way to get to it, obviously.
Yeah. Why would she be asking Joey, kind of thing?
Yeah,
But
because
it's
she's
also
no
like,
friend.
yeah, you have no friends. Two, Joey is like the top in her class. They say it like top three in her class. Like, I love how much this episode, especially, but also in the show, they hang what people's family did on the kids. Like, really didn't know too many people that like because of who their mom was or something, anybody gave a shit who they were.
No, that only happens in Los Angeles. If your parents are
Yeah.
like in Star Wars or something crazy like that, and the kid's like,
Yeah,
"You
and
know what my dad is, or do you know what my mom is?" Um, and then it happens if somebody's parent dies in high school, because that's when the
for
teachers are
sure.
all like, "So and so's dad died." Uh, speaking
And
from experience,
everybody whispers around him for like a month and then it goes back to
it's like
normal.
only a week. I was there. I did it. I think it was a week.
I'm sorry. I thought it was more than like a month. My bad.
Yeah.
I really thought it was.
For someone who's worried about how timelines work, let's get it together, Handren. Get it together. Yeah, and then they bring back Abby, who is running for class president with
And
Raper
vicious
Boy.
this episode.
I think she's the normal amount of viciousness.
In a public stage, though, some of
Oh,
the tactics she takes for this election, and this is very their problems with. So basically, they get into a runoff election. Joey and Andy and Abby and what's his name again? Chris.
rapey.
Yeah, rapey, the guy who's been,
Who's like training to rape women. He hasn't done it yet because
speaking of
we all
trains, he
agree
was
that
about to with Jen, that
Jen was
guy.
okay with it. We talked about it,
Yeah,
but we think he's in rape training.
yeah.
He's predator training.
This did the two of them teaming up to be, class presidents or whatever they're running for, did give me a little bit of like Epstein Maxwell vibes.
I like it. That's true.
Yeah, because of how evil she is too.
I can see that.
Um, and then that random guy, they bring back random nerd guy
Yeah.
as running by himself. Apparently, they're both have two people. He's just running alone.
What did he do in his career? I need to know.
Oh yeah, great. That is actually Channing Tatum. He used to be.
Yep, you heard it here, folks. That is Channing Tatum.
um,
Go ahead.
but then so basically it comes down to both Andy and Joey are terrified about their families being used in this campaign for
Well, then
student
don't
body.
run. Don't run. Because
Okay.
Joey says it up top when she's deciding. She's like, I don't need my family to be thrown in on this. And then Jack's like, no, they won't do that. And it was like, oh, foreshadow. They'll throw in somebody else's family.
True. Also, they did throw in her family, which a couple lines. One that I genuinely laughed at when after Abby gives the statement, they give like one final closing statement over the intercom, and then she goes that this thing is locked up like Joey's father.
Yeah, that was a good line. That was a good one.
But no, so she pretty much embarrasses her. They have a debate in front of the whole school. She embarrasses Andy by talking about her crazy mom and how she killed her brother. And is she crazy too? Andy breaks and runs off. Joey has her running mate has nothing to help her with. Nobody comes to Andy's help, even the teachers.
No, well, that's what's so fucked up about that situation and unlikely is I mean, she was kind of like, let's stay to the facts. Joey tried. But then the teacher eventually comes up and is like, hey, hey, hey. And that's it.
Answer the question.
And then she's like, I just am saying it so everybody knows she's crazy.
Yeah. But it's like, this is a student body president. Any teacher in reality would be like, oh, this is over. You
Yeah,
go
you're
to
disqualified. Yeah,
I
you're
can't
out.
believe you said that to that person.
You
But
can't.
that teacher was like, hey, keep it down. Now, please, Andy, answer the question. Are you crazy?
And she was like, yes.
Um,
Just so we can go back, Colin Fricks is the other guy's name.
oh yeah.
And
How has his career been?
I mean, he's slimmed up a little.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his most notable thing is that he was an actor in Transformers in 2007.
Ooh, good for him.
Yeah. He was the analyst. So still playing a geek.
The analyst.
Yay. He was also on One Tree Hill. He was on a few like random shows like that. And he only was in Dawson's Creek twice, so this was his second time. This is it. We just saw him for the last time.
Say goodbye.
Yep. Thanks,
Say
Andy.
goodbye to the student body president.
His character name is Kenny.
Is what?
Kenny.
Kenny. Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you said Andy. I was like, are you kidding me? There's another Andy.
That's lazy writing. Yeah. So then they run. It's a mess. Dawson. I really like that scene with Dawson and Jen in the very beginning, where Jen's like, "Let's ditch school," and he's like, "No, I got a test." And she's like, "Let's ditch." And he's like, "Cool, you lead the way." And then that is great. Thumbs up.
That was funny. It was a good little thing, but it also like was almost too smart for Dawson.
It made me like him for a second. And I was like, this doesn't feel right. Yeah. It was interesting.
Because you'd think then Dawson later would be like, do you hate me for doing that thing to you where I said I was going to cut with you and then I didn't cut with you? I've been thinking about it all day and you're pissed at me, aren't you?
Yeah. And then he does it again with the stealing.
Oh yeah, but there he actually tried to fake it and say that he stole it. Did you ever steal?
No.
You never did?
No, I think I in a mall one time some other kids stole and I was there for it. And I think they gave me the chapstick. It was like chapstick. And then they gave it to me because they just gave it to everybody. And then I gave it to my sister because I had too much guilt. Never told her.
Really?
Just was like, here's a chapstick.
How old?
Like, elementary school.
I steal something every time I go in a big store.
For real?
Not every time, no, but I will just for fun. You know, you're in Walmart.
Yeah, they don't need it.
Well, one, I'm shopping, and you'll be like, let me just slide this pack of toothpaste in my pocket. This one's for me.
That's what you do. I swipe, like self-checkout. I was at Target today. I paid for everything.
Yeah, that's another good one where you can drop a couple on the floor. Oops, pick them up after you pay.
Yeah, you don't have to. They don't want you.
No, nobody there cares.
No, nobody in retail at all cares because why? You're not getting paid enough.
How much would you have to get paid to care? As somebody who's worked in retail, but how much per hour to chase somebody down?
Chase somebody down? I need like 50. To just be like, hey, stop, 30.
All right. You'll go from verbal confrontation to physical for $20.
An hour. I'm not running for the hour though. I'm getting paid all day. That extra time.
No, and it's just in case. You're only hopefully doing one or two of those a day.
Yeah, exactly. I actually used to be a manager at Abercrombie and Fitch when I was like 19 or 18, like straight out of high school.
Which one is the gay one?
All of them. Okay. Which was too early to be in charge of other people. And I was in New York, and so it was like one of their biggest stores, and somebody stole And at Abercrombie, you used to have to wear flip flops and like dress in a skirt like a girl. So I had like denim skirt on and flip flops, and this guy was stealing. And I chased him through the mall and got all the way to his car. It was him and his buddy. And I was like, in my mind, like, okay, now what? I caught up to them in their car. What do you do? I got nothing. And I just looked at him and I was like, if you don't come back with me, I got your plates. You're in trouble. Da-da-da. And they both came back with me like giant flat pussies. It was
Oh, yeah.
amazing. And then my boss was like, hey, you're not supposed to chase people, but great job. Like, you got them to come back. It was 2 pairs of jeans. If I was working there now, I would be like, here's a third pair. I wouldn't care anymore.
Oh, yeah.
But as a teenager with like feeling like I had power, ooh, I went
That
for
was
it.
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad said he was on the not the other side of that. My dad was shoplifting and this
Yes.
chick chased him down.
Yes, they were older than me. No, I think
No, one of his stores somebody tried to rob with a knife. It was this woman, she had like a mask on and she tried to rob it with a knife, and the guy behind the counter was this giant dude and he just smacked the knife out of her hand. She took off out the door. He ran out the door after her, tackled her. Somebody that was in the parking lot or driving by stopped, just saw a
man,
giant
yeah.
dude tackle this woman. They came, tackled him off of her. She got up and ran away. He explained like she just tried to rob in the store. And my dad said to him, he was like, hey, you do not do that. You just open the drawer, give them the money. You know, like if anything happened to you, that's on us. We can't have that happen.
There's
But also, here's a raise.
yeah, this
Just
is
want to
the
let you
thing.
know.
Like corporations are like, okay, you're not supposed to do that, but
Yeah.
nice to know you care. Yeah, it was one of those weird moments because I was in a fucking tight denim skirt and flip flops, and it was at the Westchester Mall, which is like a fancy bougie ass mall.
Mm. Um, yeah, but back to that's why we were talking about Dawson stealing.
Not
What
stealing
was it that he was even going to steal? That was the other thing
like
too. Is
makeup,
like,
which is like, why would he steal that?
yeah, I wouldn't want to get caught stealing something I don't fucking want.
What would you do now if you got caught stealing?
Gosh. I mean, most likely I would just
You're like,
keep
oh,
going.
sorry. That's true. There's so many rules with corporates that they're not allowed to chase after you or do anything. You just can't go
Yeah.
back to that store.
Yeah. And yeah, and also, okay, here's some advice to somebody. Say you park in the parking lot of the place and you're getting chased out stealing. Don't run to your car. Run out around the building like you were on foot. Run down the block, circle back around. Maybe even leave your car for an hour or two, and then you got to come back and get the car because
Have you
then they
almost
don't
been caught
know.
before?
No, I just thought about this shit a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, don't steal. How about that, guys? Don't steal.
Look, there are ways around it. No.
I have gotten stuff for free by mistake
Oh yeah, because you
and not
forgot to
gone
pay.
back. No, like where the person just didn't ring up something, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
and I just kept
Uh,
going. I
I've
feel like
had that a
that's
little
on
bit
them.
more. So I've had the wrong change given to me, more money given back to me, and I don't say anything.
Yeah, it's fine. It's on them.
Okay, cool.
There's so many corporates.
You know, that is one thing. Dawson, I guess he did. When does he work? I feel he like they
He
have
worked
that
at the video
job.
star and the pilot and never again.
Yeah, like 2 hours a week. He's one of those kids.
I don't even think he works there. I think Pacey just lets him behind the counter.
Mm.
And he probably organizes, Pacey probably makes him work for free so that he can get
And
free tea.
yeah, Joey, at least they have her at work a lot. Pacey's barely at work too.
He's too busy stealing cars.
Jen, no fucking job. Where is she getting? Why? Because are her parents rich?
They have to be. They don't care about her. That's how parents work.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what the work ethic of these children
My favorite
bothers me.
part when Abby goes off on them in that when they're in the interview, whatever, where she starts saying that Abby's crazy. It cuts to Dawson and Jen sitting next to each other, and like Jen is supposed to be good friends with this chick, and she's comfortable
Oh
with her
yeah.
being such a dick to people.
Well,
She's gonna befriend her again.
yeah, they do befriend again, but aren't they on the outs a little bit right now because of the fucking fisherman dude?
Yeah, but you're not like when she comes back, you're not gonna be like, oh, remember how you Like, learn when people start airing out other people's dirty laundry, know that they will do that to you.
Yeah. Also, uh, I don't know. I guess this does happen in high school, but like with like that dude Chris, he was ready for Dawson to join in on the gangbang.
Mhm.
He had everybody over to his house, and Abby has hung out with them all. She is like annoying and stuff, but there's been times that you just go like, "Why are you this mean right now?" And when she's like, okay, so then basically Pacey comes back and is the savior. This one should have been like reluctant hero. Um,
100%. Maybe they got the
he's
titles wrong. The other
yeah.
one was the election.
He fakes her out, which now watching this now a second time, I go like, "Oh, that was just like she was fucking stupid for that. Like, how did you not see him do that?"
Yeah. He pushes
Um,
down they're on the radio of the school,
yeah,
and
the
he asks her a
announcer
question, and she answers it honestly.
spills her guts like the evil genius always does. But what kind of power does student council have where she's like, "I'm gonna rule this school"?
I don't know. Did you ever run for any of those things?
Yeah, I did. I ran for, I think, vice president. I
What year?
lost. My for senior class.
What do you
My
have to do if you get it?
it's basically you host a bunch of different days and you are in charge of like stuff for graduation and project graduation and yearbook and also like the winter carnival, the senior class trips and stuff. You're in charge of like figuring out where you're going to go and little all the logistics of it and shit.
I helped out something, like, I was supposed to be I wasn't student council, but there's something, like, where I, like, handed out all the, like, senior superlatives and stuff like that, and then I was also on the board to make sure that we had our 10-year reunion or whatever, and
Mm,
I never did it, and then
never did it. Yeah.
there wasn't a reunion. Like, there was one the year before and one the year after, but I dropped the ball.
I don't know if
It's
we
moot.
had we had a 10, but it was like very reluctantly put together by just this random person because nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
And they were like, fine, I'm gonna make this happen. And I think a bunch of people went. I didn't go. But there's so much like out of their way to do it that I don't think we'll have a fucking 20-year reunion.
I would love to go to mine now that if someone else does it.
Wouldn't yours be this year?
20? Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you 38?
Oh, fuck, you're right. Damn! I didn't do it again. Oh, fuck. COVID? I don't know. I don't know.
um
I really fucked that one up. But Pacey goes in the bathroom to check on Andy to be like, no one will remember this. Everyone's families are fucked up. And Andy just runs off crying. And then Jack, what do you think about Jack during this?
well,
Joey
knowing that
goes
he
up to
comes out, it was like all the subtext to this was there of like you think like right now if you didn't know this about him, you're just watching the series for the first time, you think everything he's talking about is just his mom. But then as he knowing he comes out as gay, I see all of this is all like, oh, there's more to every, he's like, there's stuff we just don't talk about. And you're like, oh, he's talking about his mom and also other stuff.
Do you think that they knew they were going to make him gay already?
I think so, yeah. I think at this point, they're leaning heavy on him as a character, like, so they're like, "We're gonna build a storyline for him as well."
You think it's fucked up that they made the like first gay character come from the crazy family?
Um, I think at the time, they thought of it as groundbreaking.
Mm. Also, hi baby. She's
Oh,
all
yeah, she's
happy.
over there.
Cute.
She's, working things out. She's probably gotta poop or something.
So exciting. So exciting. Um, yeah, so Jack yells at Joey, and that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. It is true, like, what or Joey's complaints about it, like, "I tell you all this stuff, but you don't open up to me." Is completely valid and true, but I love his defense of, like, go fuck yourself.
I think in high school you have the right. I think all your whole life you have the right to do that.
Yeah, I wondered about this too. I feel like in high school you didn't have the emotional language to talk about shit like that. Like you would never be like, you need to open up to me about the problems you're having within your family. You'd be like, hey man, how's it going?
Yeah, there's no way you ask that because if you ask that, it means they will ask it back.
There's that definitely.
No way, man.
Okay, and then when they make up, I this is something that I wish was said so much. She tells him the story about her friend who was there for her
Yes. Oh my
the whole
gosh.
time her mom was dying and how she can be that friend to
I
Jack.
wonder who that was.
I wanted so badly that she just describes in detail this relationship with the friend while her mom was dying, and I just wanted him to go, Dawson, you're talking about Dawson?
Yeah, 100%.
Just like,
Or him to be like mad about it. Like, are you talking about Dawson right now?
yeah, are you talking about Dawson?
Fucking trying to go through all this shit. And my girlfriend's talking about her ex boyfriend and how he was there for her. Go fuck yourself.
I had this friend, Dawson. You can just you say when my mom was dying, Dawson was there for me.
Yeah, 100%. And then it goes back to Dawson finding that his parents had sex, which is fucking weird.
That was such a weird moment, such a weird sex scene.
And then he talks
Weird
to
that he watched for a little too long and then went back for a look.
his
Very odd. And
yeah.
then told his dad, I saw it, not the whole thing, but foreplay.
And then his dad's like, I don't know if I want to talk to you about this. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Now you want to be a dad? I was waiting for Dawson in that moment to be like, I thought we were friends. Friends
Yeah.
chill
Come on,
about
bro.
sex. Come on, man. Tell me how my mom is. Let's go.
You fucked my mom, bro.
Tell me about it. Is she good? Yeah. And then he's like, we're not getting back together. That was an oopsie. And
Yeah.
Dawson's like, what is an oopsie? And then he realizes that he's not emotionally as hello, police officers. Not as emotional as he thinks.
Which is, and I think in that situation is true because as an adult now, if a friend told me they're getting divorced but they banged their wife one more time, I would be like, I get that.
Yeah, it's the
You'd
goodbye.
be like, yeah, and now you're done, and they're like, yeah, it's not happening. You'd be like, okay, yeah, that's
It was the one like, should we try this? See, passionate?
yeah,
Yeah, let's do it. It's not changing. I remember growing up, it was always about my number, like how many people I'd slept with, the number. And then it's not changing your number. It's just like one more thing.
yeah. And I think for Mitch
Closure.
to have the fact that she had cheated on him, he was like, I'm tapping out. I'm gonna be the last one. I'm gonna say we're done here.
And I'm gonna fuck her aggressively. You know he hit her a few times. That's why Dawson wanted to ask questions.
Yeah, definitely.
And not an open hand, not an open hand slap. He hit her.
Oh
A
yeah, yeah,
punch
yeah.
across the face and called it foreplay.
Closed fist to the stomach.
Yeah.
Um,
We're terrible people, and I like it.
but then Dawson's like, I'm ready to go buck wild, and so he fucking does the pranks of a 12-year-old.
Before that, though, he's like, I'm ready to go buck wild, which means let's change my outfits.
Yeah.
What? That's so not. No.
I know of anybody who you would think in the next two episodes would come out as gay in this. Right now, it's Dawson.
Oh, what a better turn that would have been.
Yeah.
If he fucked Jack,
Ooh, there you go.
and then Joey would almost kill herself. That's the storyline that should happen right now. Both guys
Joey
should never love, both fucked each other. Come on.
It's just 30 minutes of her just like
No, it'd be this one. Just sitting by the river. Crickets, fuck.
Yeah, but then when they go, so Jen Okay, Jen, who goes and gets blasted and tries to have threesomes with two dudes, is like, "Oh, Dawson, I'll fucking get you to go wild. We're gonna go TP a house
Mhm.
and then go skinny dipping." And it's like, where are the drugs? Where is the
Well,
like
I think she just wanted to see his big fat cock. I'm not
to
gonna lie.
then
She was
completely cock tease him?
Oh, yeah, but she loves it. So she gets in the water, she's naked, and she's like, "Oh, are you cold?" And he's like, "Oh," turn around. He gets in, and then they're splashing around, and she's asking him if he ever gets hard for her and stuff like that. And
She
then
jumps in and goes, "I'm all wet."
yeah, she's hitting on him so hard. And then he kisses her, and she's like, "No, we're just friends, man." Oh, I love women. Oh, we're the best.
I would not have been shocked or angry really if he just grabbed her and drowned her right there.
Uh,
And then
I would have loved if a leech
and
just
then he's
wanted
just stuck there going, "What did I do? What did I do? What did I do?" And then the rest of the series becomes him trying to cover up the murder of Jen Lindley.
by
And I want to say
fucking
Jen Lindley, a great murder victim name. Who
yes,
killed Jen Lindley?
that's a good book.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I wanted him to get naked, try to make out with her, and then a leech got on his dick, and then it was like, "Ow!" But I don't know if leeches are in that neighborhood.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Like, yeah,
There's
that's why skinny dipping's
I
scary.
mean they're in that part of that neck of the woods. The only way really you're getting leeches though is if it's real stagnant water.
Oh, so they're fine.
Possibly some ponds have them, some don't. But if you got a little creek running into the pond, a little creek running out of the pond, you're good. But if it's just sitting there, yeah, you got to worry about them leeches.
And then she's like, "We're just friends," and he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Come on, Dawson. Everything I said was just for fun."
Yeah. I it was oof. He took it well though. He took it well, and I think it is because of his inexperience that he was actually probably a little relieved.
Because he knows
Because
he
if
would have
she
had to
was just
fuck her,
like,
and she just
yeah,
fucked 2 dudes the night before. But I also am surprised that he wasn't like, "Come on, you fuck everybody else. What's wrong? Why can't you make out with me?
I know that
Do you need the
again,
drink?"
valid argument for him to make right there, and it's her
100%. And
right to
she would have
say no.
slapped him,
It's
and she
her
would have
right to say
slapped
no.
him, and that's how that scene really would in real life, if that happened, he would have said something that would have been hurtful, and it would have been like, "But you just almost fucked 2 dudes last night." And she would have been like, "Slap. You can't judge me.
Yeah.
It's 1998."
And how do you feel about that? Can you judge her there?
Yeah, it's
Is that a valid emotion for him to have?
yeah, but it's also fine for her to be mad about it because it's fun to be mad.
True. Um,
And then one of my favorite scenes in this show, I don't know if you saw this. Oh, of course you saw it. Is when Andy is creepily sitting in a rocking chair by the window and Jack
oh
finds
yeah.
her and is like, "Hey."
I don't need my medications, Jack. I'm fine.
And she's like overacting, being crazy. It was a little on the nose with the acting. Like I was like, "Okay, you were crying and then you went schizo." Like I want to see, I don't know, but it's such a creepy look
And they finally have her take her medication.
at the end
Or
when she's crying. And Pacey would have heard that.
yeah, go back on her medication. But they made it such a weird thing because it's like that should be a good thing. Like that I don't know, she takes it as wrong, but it's like no, that like she's stabilizing herself. Um,
Because she's not on. Most people, when they're on medication, once they get off, they don't realize they need to get back on it again, and it's hard to convince
True.
them to do it.
I just meant the way they framed the whole scene
Oh yeah,
because with how sad she was and the music that was playing and how they were playing out and having her take the bottle out, I thought she was going to take the whole bottle.
yeah.
I thought that's where they were like,
You want an upper? I'll show you an
yeah,
upper. All the way to heaven.
I'll take
Uh,
all my medication.
yeah, exactly. But she answers the phone and she's like, "Pacey, yeah, I'm gonna be fine." And it's like, so what? She's just gonna go back to school and be like, "Hey, too much caffeine," because she was already crazy.
No, but I think the idea is this medication,
Calms her the fuck down. She does need that.
yeah, dulls her out.
Do you think that she was on this meds before her brother died or post?
I would bet it could go either way, but probably post. Okay, so if you want to look at it in a real medical scenario, say it's genetic.
Hmm.
Got it. Her mom has it. She's, conducted something from her mom. Um, a traumatic event like her brother dying in your teenage years could set it off.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Um, so it could be that, yeah, this is a new thing since the brother dying,
She
but
should stop
also
eating meat.
teenage girls. I mean, too, it just hit earlier with teenage girls, and she could have been. Maybe that's why the mom was so distracted and crashed the car.
uh, I do like how they were saying that the mom is the reason that the son died. It was like, no, it was a car accident. She didn't like run him in and spin him
I
dead.
know, I know.
That was so mean. But also, if you want to regulate your moods, just be a vegan, be a good person. You'll be fine.
uh,
I'm
this
kidding.
podcast is brought to you by the Church of Scientology.
Now we're going to get canceled for sure.
Um, that was something also that I wondered was why, like, do these Chris and Abby have nothing to fucking hide about their families? Like, if we're gonna go low blows, isn't she like a terrible, crazy whore slut?
Yeah.
And he's like a douche with,
Who's raped half the girls in the
and
auditorium?
yeah, and family just leaves for weeks at a time and has a creepy younger sister.
Yeah, 100%. But they are taking the high road and they say that. They say, we're not going to do mean things.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's why you lost. That's why Hillary lost. I don't know what to tell you guys.
Who wins the election? I don't remember. Do we find
Kenny,
out? Okay.
Kenny, remember
Then he never
Pacey
comes back?
after? Yeah, he just
Oh, he
turns
says
to him
it's
and he
all
goes,
yours, bud.
"All yours." Yeah.
All right.
And then he rules the school with an iron fist for the next 2
So
years.
so much that we never see him again.
Um, and then where did it end?
That is a good question. Um,
With her just saying, "Pacey, don't come over," or some
that's
shit.
the meds. She's taking the meds. Oh, it ends with Dawson telling being his parents have decided the divorce papers. So the divorce papers come to the home and the mom is like, "Yeah," and Dawson's like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then he walks up to his room. He's like, "I'm not okay. Jen, Jen, I'm not okay. My parents are it's crumbling, my perfect world."
Yeah, I mean, Jen could do him a solid and fuck him.
Mhm.
Um, Two, it's like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. Like, you're an only child. This is probably gonna fuck you up because you're a little soft.
It's probably good for him.
I mean, in the long run, yeah, but I don't know any only children that, especially that late in life, their parents getting divorced didn't really fuck with them. You know, plenty like that. If the parents get divorced before they're like 4,
Mhm.
it's like it might mess with them or whatever, but they become pretty accustomed to it and used to it, and especially if they get bigger families and stuff. But when you're 15, your parents get divorced, your dad's gonna end up wanting to like come hang out with you at college, and
Ugh,
your mom's
for
gonna
real?
start banging dudes, and
And you're aware of what that is.
yeah. Yeah, you're completely aware of the how if they're mad at each other or not mad at each other, and like
My
none
brother
of
was
that's
in high
hidden from you.
school when my mom dated a guy that he hated. We all hated him. And he used to do torturous things to this guy, and it was hilarious.
I've never until now been with anybody with a kid. Now I'm
Now you're
hooking up with
trapped.
this broad. She's got a kid.
I've never been with anybody with a kid, and I
Yeah.
probably never will.
Although interestingly enough, people that I did have dated in the past have kids now.
Oh yeah, almost everyone. Who else? Almost everyone, all but like I think one have kids, maybe two.
Um, so yeah, that's where it winds up. But speaking of kids and future and stuff, I think we should start now with ideas because we brought it up we can add to it throughout the show for clearly there needs to be a Dawson's Creek reunion. It
I
needs to
think
be
it'll
like
happen soon because
the 20-year
yeah,
high school reunion or something, or 25, whatever
or
it
it'll be
is.
like the Friends thing where they all sit on a couch. But
Ugh,
hasn't
that was
there been
sad.
hasn't there been so many episodes where like Jen, whoever plays her in real life, has said a lot of mean things about being on Dawson's Creek? So I don't know why.
Uh, Michelle Williams, in
Yeah,
real life, she's said she hated it.
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she was married to Heath Ledger, so clearly she's not great at making choices. You know, why are we listening to her opinion?
She's she's just like her character.
It would be hard to get him because then also fucking what's her name did the whole Tom Cruise thing, and
They have
now
their
is
own new. They
Katie
have
Holmes.
yeah. They have their own like baggage that equally matches the show.
Yeah, I think oddly enough, Dawson is the only one. Pacey's probably pretty good too. Joshua Jackson is he's worked somewhat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's start writing it, and hopefully we'll get it financed and we can get them together. But oh, Jesus Christ, he was
Did you
out of
lose your
here.
puppy?
Yeah, he took off. He probably needs to go out.
Oh.
Oh no, he's going under the couch. Because one, it would be like who has kids,
Mm-hmm.
uh, who's still alive. Because I think, you know, so this is, I think maybe you said this. Now that we're talking about it, because it started in this episode is Abby, or not Abby, Andy starts to have this mental break. She goes through a period of like dealing with her mental illness, and Pacey's there for her. And she tries to push him away and shit. Um, but eventually, after being a strong character for a few seasons, she leaves the show. But Jack stays on, and she never comes back again. And I wonder what made her as a actress do that, or if it was a choice, or if they just wrote her out of the show.
We should look into that
Yeah.
because yeah, who it's an interesting thought because some people did leave the show, like the dad we know left the show because he didn't feel like his character development was good.
Mm.
She could have felt the same way. And Jen's whole issue with Dawson's Creek was that she had a hard time finding a good job after because she was so stained with that character archetype.
Hmm.
But it was like all of their first big job, so the only one paid.
Yeah, and I just feel like that is becoming less and less a thing now, where like even these people who break on shows just kind of like will immediately take a big swing in another direction in order to like shake off whatever like iconic character they were.
Mhm, exactly. Like if they play a dork, like Ariel Winter, for example, she dresses in real life very opposite of that character. And I don't know if it's because she had to be dressed that way her whole life, or if I mean, I'm sure it's because she's comfortable that way. And
What
not that she
character is
doesn't dress
that?
like on Modern Family.
Oh,
She plays the
I've
girl
never
with
seen that.
glasses, like super smart. And she
Oh,
is
okay.
a very intellectual human being, but she likes to dress sexy.
Nice.
But she's also in her early 20s. Like, who doesn't want to dress sexy when it's the best time to do it? Because let me tell you, ladies, if you're out there, it's all going to go downhill, okay? Speaking from a 38-year-old woman who didn't realize that it was her 20-year anniversary. Oh, so sad.
And don't do it when you get like way older too. It's just like trying to dress at Forever 21 when you're
And no more lip
forever.
injections, everybody. We can tell.
I hate those.
I had to drop something off at the post office, and several people had lip injections, probably because they just got to take off their masks. And I just wanted to walk by all of them and whisper, "We can tell you have lip
Yeah.
injections. We can tell."
Should slide it in a more regular conversation with somebody like that. If you're a listener, do that out there. If you're serving them at a restaurant or just talking and say,
Nice lip
just slip
injection.
in like, or just something like, what can I get for your order? We know. And they're like, we
I
know.
can
You're
tell.
like, we know.
We
Know
know.
what? We know.
We can tell.
Yeah,
I can
we
tell.
can tell. We can tell.
Can you imagine if everyone started saying that to people and then like one murderer was like, I did it. I killed the bitch. It's like, damn.
Oh,
That's funny.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, those lip injections, because you see how it works for photos, but then it would be like if that photo was in 3D and you could just look to the side a little bit, it would look weird and
Very
odd.
ducky. It's the same thing with women who get booty implants. It looks great when they're on all fours, but as soon as they're standing, it's very weird. Just
Well, see,
stop
there
getting
we go. That one doesn't really have a problem.
because you're supposed to be on all fours.
That was the
Yeah,
joke.
I know. I was just filling it in case someone didn't get it.
Anywho,
I
I
don't
don't
want to
want to
wait.
wait for what is the next episode? Is Jack gay in the next episode? That's
Ooh,
what
what
I
do
don't
you
want to
think?
wait
What do you
for.
think?
When is Jack gonna start S'ing some
The
D?
next episode is called High Risk Behavior. That sounds like a
Yeah, it's
risky
about him
behavior.
getting having unprotected sex
It sounds like I bet. Well, we've already established that we think that Pacey's going to be the first one to fuck, right? With maybe they fuck in the next episode.
with Andy. No, I think this one is about, if I remember correctly, Jack going to glory holes.
Oh yeah. I forgot about the
You
classic
remember that
glory
episode? You
hole
forget that
scene.
the
I
glory hole
forgot.
episode.
Oh, I totally forgot. Yep, I forgot about
Um,
it. All the glitter.
I think I mean, at this point, everybody's wilding out. So Dawson's off the hinge, Jen is off the hinge. Not Abby, Andy is, going batshit crazy. Pacey doesn't know what to do. He's just pretty much an enabler.
Mhm.
He takes care of her, but he doesn't know how to like solve any problems. Um, Joey is about to blow a gay guy, and
You think she does?
that I would
I think
love.
they
I
only
no, I
kiss.
don't. Yeah, I think they just kiss. I don't think they do anything else. But I would love. That would be hilarious if like she gave him which we talked about before. They don't get into any detail with like
No, they go
hand jobs or
straight to
blow jobs
sex.
or yeah, it's just sex. Um, which is not very New England. New England is very much like hand jobs and cars and shit.
Why not?
Fingering under the bleachers.
Don't do it.
That's what we call vaginas.
Fingering under the bleachers.
Under the bleachers.
Oh. Nice.
Or I guess that would be better for anal. You're like, dude, she let me under the bleachers.
That would definitely be better for that. 100%. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, next time on the show, we'll find out who does anal.
Yep. Glory holes. I'm excited. I'm Kim McVicar.
I'm Handren Seavey.
Bye.